All right, so we're going to continue on the task GD practice exam number 2 for polynomial. And we have this, the perfect trinomial square, the perfect square. We have like 3x minus 5 squared. So we're going to have like two methods how to use, how to solve, how to evaluate this. So let's start with the simple one. We have like 3x. We got 3x minus 5. So 3x minus 5 squared, right? That's going to be 3x minus 5 times 3x minus 5. No, it's going to be like twice there. And we can use FOIL method here. So we can start with the FOIL method, like 3x. We get, let me get back here. All right, so we get like 3x times 3x, right? That's going to be like 9x squared. And the next one, we get 3x times 5. That will be negative 15x. Then we have this going to be like first, outer, and inner. We're going to have negative 5 times 3x. That would be negative 15x. And the last one here, we're going to have like negative 5 times negative 5. That would be positive 25, right? And you want to add the middle right here. So it's going to be like 9x squared. And we can add the middle terms, like negative 15 and negative 15x. So we're going to add two negative values. It would be negative 30x plus 25. And that's going to be the answer, which is going to be A, right? Now there is another way we can we call it like a perfect square, right? The perfect square trinomial. It's when we have, and this is very important for the TASC exam. You will be given this in the formula sheet, so you don't have. I mean, it's a good idea to memorize this. By practicing, you're gonna memorize this anyway. So we have like. So we'll have like a minus b squared. That's going to be a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So we can use this formula in this example. And like for, in this case, so we have, let's suppose I have 3x minus 5. So I got 3x minus 5 squared, right? So in this case, a will be 3x by using the formula, right? It's going to be like 3x squared, right? Minus 2 times a is 3x, and b will be 5, right? Plus 5 squared. It's going to be like 5 squared, right? So as you can see here, we have a will be 3x and b will be 5, right? And this is very, very useful for us because it's going to save us time. So we can continue here. We have like 3x squared. That would be 9x squared minus 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 5 is 30. It's going to be like 30x. And 5 squared would be 25. And that's the same answer as we got here, right? So we can use either way. You can use the FOIL method or you can use the perfect square method, right? Just to remind you that they're like a famous formula we should know. Beside a minus b squared, we have a plus b squared. We have a plus b squared, right? And that will be a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. All right, so for question number 12, which expression is equivalent to x minus 5 times x plus 5? Well, again, we can use two methods here. We can use the traditional one, which is FOIL. So we can just multiply like, x, x times x. That would be x squared, right? That would be x squared. And then we have like x times 5. That would be 5x. And then we have inner, like negative 5 times x, that would be negative 5x. And the last one here, we can have like negative 5, right? Negative 5 times positive 5, that would be negative 25, right? Now to simplify this, we get x squared and 5x, negative 5x. Those are opposite values, so we're gonna get rid of them. We're gonna simplify them, and we're gonna come up with x squared minus 25, right? And the answer would be D. Now, well, again, beside what we learned in the previous problem about the perfect square, right? There is another formula called the perfect square, right? The perfect square. So we're gonna have like a squared minus b squared will be a minus b times a plus b, right? That's called a perfect square. And that's important because we can use it here. I mean, as you can see, we know that we have a minus b, that we have x minus 5, right, times x plus 5. That's what we have, right? That's exactly, it looks like a minus b times a plus b. So by using the formula, all right, by using the formula, that will be x, no, a is x, it's going to be like x squared minus 5 squared, right? Because as you can see, x is a and b is 5, right? And that would be x squared and 5 squared, that would be 25. That's exactly the same answer here, right? So this is called FOIL method, and that's the difference of square method, right? So that's very, very important. All right, so let's go to the next question here. We have simplified 3x squared plus 6x over 3, right? That's synthetic division. There's a common mistake, usually some students do this. Please don't do it, right? What they do is they try to simplify, which is, we have like 3 here and 3 here, and life is beautiful, and that's gonna be the answer. No, this is wrong. You don't do that, right? We have to factor the numerator first, right, in order to simplify. In other words, I mean, when you have, like, for example, like when you have like a plus b over a, no, you don't do this. No, we don't do this, all right? So we can simplify, so this is wrong, and this is wrong, right? When I have like ab, wait a second, let me just get back here. When I have like a times b over a, then we can simplify a with a, right? So make sure you factor the top first, the numerator first, before we simplify, all right? So let's get back to our problem here, okay? Gonna have some space here. So we know that 3x, all right, so 3x squared plus 6x over 3. And we know we can factor by 3 in the numerator here, right? So we have like 3 as a common factor. And we're going to come up with x squared plus 2x, right? Because 3 times 2x will give me 6x, right? And that's going to be over 3. Now, since we have multiplication here, we are free to cancel the 3 with 3. And the answer will be x squared plus 2x, okay? Which is definitely, it's gonna be D as the final answer. We have another problem here for number 14, which is 20x squared minus 15x over 5x. So we can do the same thing. We can simplify the top there, and we know that the greatest common factor there is gonna be like 5x. Right, that's the greatest common factor, and if we take like 5x here, now we're gonna come up with 4x here, because 5 times 4 is 20, and x times x is x squared. In other words, if we multiply 5x with 4x, will give you 20x squared, right? And also we have minus. Now 5x is greatest common factor for 15x also, right? So we're gonna have 3. We're gonna have 3 left there, right? Over 5x. Again, we know that 5x times 3 will give you 15x. That's exactly what we have here. Now we are free to simplify 5x with 5x, and we're gonna come up with 4x minus 3 as a final answer. So in this case, it's going to be C as the correct answer. All right, so in this question, number 15, which expression factors the expression x squared minus 16? Now, this is really, for me, it's going to be the easiest way is to use a formula of the perfect square, right? So it's going to be, we know that's a squared. We know that's a squared, right, minus b squared. It's going to be a minus b, right, times a plus b. And we know that 16 is a perfect square, so it's going to be like x squared minus 4 squared, right? So in this case, a will be 4, will be x, and b will be 4. So it's going to be like x minus 4 times x plus 4. That's the easiest way to solve this problem, the quickest way, and you need to save time, right? The time will be your enemy in the exam, so make sure you win the battle. So you need to know your formula, right? And again, for the TASC exam, this formula will be given to you, and you don't even have to memorize this one, right? However, by practicing, it's gonna stuck in your memory, so you will memorize this. You won't have a problem. So C will be the correct answer. So C will be the correct answer.